Happy Sabbath, happy Sabbath. People of God, I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful day. I am not working today. I had to come out and deal with something on an issue. Trying to do good for somebody, and they trying to do good for somebody, and I ended up had to meet with somebody on that behalf of my good deed because they didn't do right and they violated some things, and I had to meet with some folk in reference to that. But anyway, I'm on my way to get a massage, finish relaxing myself. I didn't feel like putting on no clothes, and so I just put on my work uniform and come out. But anyway, off of that, happy Sabbath, everybody. You know what I wanted to say is earlier this morning I saw something this young man said, very how can I say it, I like the young man's spirit, right? He can tell he has an anointing about himself. His pain is supposed to push him to his purpose, but he said something that I want to comment on. And what he said was, it's unfortunate for anyone who has to deal with childhood trauma. But at the same time, I want to say this in reference to what that young man said. What he said was, if his mother, basically, when it comes to a funeral, if his mother were to pass, he wouldn't be going to no funeral. He would be enjoying himself. He wouldn't even care. And I thought that was so disrespectful. I thought that was very disrespectful. Even though he's speaking from a place of pain, I expected him to be mature enough to not be that disrespectful. Regardless of what some folk have gone through with their parents, your parent could have killed you. They could have had an abortion, but they didn't. You hear? They could have put you up for adoption, but they didn't. You hear? And if you're supposed to be a man or woman of God, I think that we should understand what grace and mercy really is. Sometimes you have to talk about the painful truth, but it's one thing to talk about the truth and get called disrespectful because you are simply respectfully telling the truth and boldly telling the truth. That's different. But it's another thing to be mean and disrespectful. Honor thy mother and father, that thy days may be long in the earth. So, in spite of the pain, and because I never heard this young man say how he was praying for against the spirits. I never, the constant complaining, and it's like it what I'm beginning to see is almost as if it's turning into hate, and that shouldn't be. God has placed an anointing on this young man's life because I can discern it, I see it, I feel it, even the way he talks. But you can use your words to hurt folk and keep folk down. You can use your word to speak curses over folk if you don't heal. Healing means the biggest part of healing, in my opinion, is forgiving. When you forgive, you can't be that cruel and hateful, and that's what it comes across as, in my opinion, to say something like that. When you are anointed and you carry the light, and if you really know you are chosen, then what are those spirits that have had your mother bound, that have been attacking you through your mother? Get angry with those demons. Get angry with those spirits, and you can have love and compassion for her. Not saying that sometimes it doesn't require separation, but if you fight against those spirits, and if you are as powerful spiritually as some of us think we are, then you should be seeing changes as a result of your prayers and your obedience to Christ, right? So I just wanted to say that I thought that was disrespectful. I don't agree with it. I don't agree with that at all. That's mean. Yeah. How does it bring healing? And if she were to pass away after you said all those things, and you're still here in this earth, and you ain't did nothing to fight in the spirit, you got to learn spiritual warfare, man. If you have a calling on your life, which you do, you got to learn spiritual warfare. And when you learn that as you grow, you would actually have compassion for your mother. And you may learn some things that she never felt that it was important to tell you. You may learn things that she had to endure that you don't know about. Right? So anyway, it's one thing to be honest and share your truth and be bold, but being disrespectful is a whole another thing. And you know, as we grow into adults, regardless of what we're going through in life, all of us, we all been through something. At some point, you got to suck it up and let them people, if they've passed away, you got to let them pass away in peace. And you know, stop carrying these stories. You can't be 65 years old, and I'm talking personal experience from someone I know. You cannot be 65 years old and still making excuses about what your mother did when your mother has passed on all these years ago. And she may not have been able to care for you, but she put you in the hands of folk who parented you and cared for you, you know. And it's evident if it was more than one of you, and one is doing very well, managing their marriage well, and you have just been a womanizer and doing all of these cruel, evil things, and not even been a father to your own daughter, but still blaming your dead mother at the age of 65. You have not healed. You have not forgiven her. You've hurt a lot of women as a result of that, you know. So I think part of healing, like I said, part of healing, from my personal opinion and what I've seen, is forgiveness. Yep, forgiveness. Yep. So anyway, that's just my little 2 cents. Ain't worth a nickel, ain't worth a dime. We can tell our truth without being mean and being disrespectful. It's one thing to be called disrespectful for simply just telling the truth, but it's a whole nother thing to be disrespectful, and then you have folk co-signing on your disrespect, egging you on. Lord have mercy. Anyway, have a blessed day, people of God.